we're getting going here.
Everybody's computer's just gonna melt.
I can't order anything. None of our drinks.
Don't know.
Okay, welcome everybody. It is Saturday night here in Live Long and Podcast, and we are doing Star Trek Radio Theater. This is our 17th edition of the show. Can you believe it? And on this show, we reenact Star Trek scripts from different series with some fun voices and some interesting reinterpretations. So this is episode is Star Trek Voyagers in the Flesh that we're doing from season 5, episode 4. It first aired in 1998. Takes place in the 4th season there. So as I said, so halfway through their run. And this episode is written by Nick Sagan, who is Carl Sagan's son, who's the great astronomer. So this is a fun episode where species 8472 is pretending to or learning how to infiltrate Earth. But this is an Earth simulation that the crew of Voyager, specifically Commander Chakotay, comes across. So that will be the story we're telling, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, I will introduce the cast afterwards, but we hope you enjoy the show. All right. Okay, here we go.
We focus on Starfleet headquarters. Garden. An elderly man tends a protea plant and picks its everlasting bloom. The gardens are bustling with activity. An admiral is addressing a small group of Starfleet officers.
Welcome to Earth. I am Admiral Bullock. I will be your commanding officer for the next 6 months. Questions? Comments? Bring them to me. Problems? Talk to Lieutenant Kinnis. Lawson, you're assigned to the Federation Council, Deputy Liaison Officer. Young and Raskin, report to Orbital Flight Control. You'll be monitoring incoming vessels from the Bolian sector.
Someone is watching and taking photographs of the people. It's Chakotay with the doctor's holocamera. Wait, how can Chakotay be taking pictures on Earth when he is stuck in the Delta Quadrant? A short time later, Chakotay is scanning a stand of bamboo. The gardener walks up to him.
I can save you some time there, son. They're bamboo.
I know that. Unfortunately, me tricorders reading them as maple trees. I reckon the isodyne relays be malfunctioning.
Why don't you pay a visit to logistical support? Maybe they'll issue you a new one.
Good idea.
I'm going that way myself. Mind some company?
Not at all. Chakotay and the gardener begin to walk down the path.
So what's your assignment here?
I don't know. I haven't received me orders yet. I just arrived.
From where?
A 3-year tour on the Intrepid.
Is that a fact? I thought the Intrepid was patrolling the neutral zone.
'Tis. I caught a transport vessel at Deep Space 7.
Got tired of wrestling with the Romulans.
Let's just say 'tis good to be back. What about yourself? How long have ye been posted here, Mr.
Boothby. Boothby's the name.
Boothby? I've heard o' ye.
I should hope so. I've been tending these grounds for 54 years, give or take a few months.
And beautiful grounds they be. Boothby points out a building to Chakotay.
Logistical support. Straight through the main complex, second door on your right.
Thank ye.
Commander, logistics is a secure area. They won't let you in with that holo imaging device. Fresh from the neutral zone? You're not a Romulan double agent, are you, son?
Actually, I was just logging a few images for me hearties back home. Would ye mind posing for a shot?
Me? You want a picture of me?
The one and only Boothby. Me scallywags would be impressed.
Well, when you put it that way, cadet, take our picture, will you?
Chakotay hands the camera over to a young red-headed woman.
Don't cut off our heads. I expect a copy of that, young man.
We focus on the Quantum Cafe. Chakotay sits on a bar stool and opens a book that is sitting on the counter. A woman walks up.
You're sitting in my seat and you're reading my book. You want my drink too?
Depends. What be it?
Klingon martini. Remove gin with a dash of blood wine.
Blood wine. Ne'er touch the stuff.
What do you like?
Ahoy! I was waiting for a matey.
Valerie Archer.
Hayek. Jason Hayek.
Nice tattoo. I bet there's a story behind it.
A long one. A cave beyond logic. Vulcan perspectives on Platonic thought. Sounds fascinating.
You can borrow it if you like.
Thanks anyway. I can only take small doses of Vulcan philosophy.
Stationed here?
Temporarily.
Where do you call home?
Ye first. Where are ye from?
Everywhere. My parents were starship officers. By the time I was 10, I'd seen half the quadrant.
Starfleet brat.
Bratty as they come.
There's a crash as a chair is knocked over. A man is clutching at his throat while his face ripples.
Oh!
His friends drag him away.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever reverted?
Reverted? Not yet.
Ensign O'Halloran. This is his third time this week. If it happens again, they'll pull him out of training.
What about ye? Any trouble?
Oh, I can keep my human form. It's the little things that bother me.
Little things?
Breathing oxygen, bipedal locomotion, and sleeping. The concept of being unconscious for 8 hours of the night. So alien.
I know what ye mean.
That's why I started reading their books. For some reason, it helps me relax. But we shouldn't be talking about this. Think human, talk human, be human. Remember?
How could I forget?
So, had a chance to take a look around?
Not yet.
Headquarters has a lot more to offer than conference rooms and consoles if you have the right kind.
Is that an invitation?
I get off duty at 1900 hours.
Commander?
Speak of the devil.
Tuvok enters and walks over to the pair. Chakotay picks up the book. We be discussing Vulcan philosophy.
Join us.
Another time, perhaps. We have work to do.
Oh, can't it wait?
I'm afraid not.
What about tonight? Do we have a date? 1900 hours. Meet you right here.
I'll do me best.
Live long and prosper.
Tuvok raises an eyebrow and nods, not amused. He walks away from her with Chakotay.
A date?
Relax, Tuvok. I plan on standing her up.
We agreed to limit our investigation to surveillance.
'Twas worth the risk. She nattered about training. These are some kind of aliens learning to pose as humans.
For what purpose?
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
We're due back at the transporter coordinates.
We focus on Starfleet headquarters, gardens. Tuvok and Chakotay are walking quickly. A security officer approaches them.
Excuse me, gentlemen. You've entered the restricted area. Captains and above.
Sorry, we didn't realize.
I'm going to have to ask you to come with me.
Why?
All unauthorized personnel to be debriefed by Starfleet intelligence. Direct orders from Admiral Bullock.
Avast, scallywag! We be late for a meeting with Starfleet Command. The debriefing will have to wait.
I'm sorry, Commander.
The security officer has pulled out his phaser. Shiver me timbers! Very well. As they begin to walk away, Tuvok lags behind and neck pinches the officer. And he collapses.
When he regains consciousness, he'll no doubt want to report this incident.
Chakotay to Paris. 3 be beaming up.
3?
I'll be explaining it later. We focus on the Delta Flyer. Paris and Kim are on board. Chakotay puts the unconscious man in a chair.
Who's that?
One of Starfleet's scurvy dogs. Take us to Voyager.
What did you find down there?
Earth.
The Delta Flyer turns and heads off into space. We focus on Voyager sickbay. Janeway, the doctor, and Chakotay are present, along with a couple of security officers, just in case. The man wakes on the biobed in the surgical alcove.
Welcome aboard.
Where am I?
On a starship.
What starship? Why have you brought me here? I'll be reporting this incident to the Admiral.
Ye can drop the charade. We know ye not be man.
Who are you?
Gentry, David, rank Ensign, Starfleet service number 99 Beta 3278, planet of origin, Earth.
We're not interested in your knowledge of human culture. We're not part of your recreation. I'm Captain Janeway of Federation Starship Voyager. I'm from Earth. You're not.
Gentry, David, rank Ensign, Starfleet service number 99 Beta 3278.
Doctor,
The doctor walks closer to Gentry and picks up a small device.
What are you doing?
I need a sample of your DNA.
Why?
since you won't tell us who you are, we have no choice but to find out for ourselves.
You won't be harmed.
Gentry to headquarters! Security alert!
We've disabled your comm badge. The doctor attempts to get a sample of Gentry's DNA, but Gentry knocks his hand aside and leaps off the biobed in a crazed state.
No! Don't touch me! Disease! Humans!
Gentry goes rigid, then falls to the floor. The doctor scans him with his tricorder.
It appears he's released a cellular toxin into his bloodstream. He's dead.
The three exchange confused looks. We focus on space. Voyager is flying beside a moon.
Mott, that's you.
That's Janeway.
Computer. Return to index time 4228.
Nope.
Captain's log. Go to the captain's
Where it
log.
says log.
Oh, Captain's log. Supplemental. Until we know exactly what's going on keeping Voyager concealed behind a Class 3 moon.
We focus on the astrometrics lab. Chakotay is showing the photographs he took to Janeway, Tuvok, and Seven on a wall monitor. Federation Council, Astrophysics, Starfleet Medical Complex. They've even recreated the Officers Club, the Quantum Cafe.
Computer. Return to time index 4228. That's Boothby,
Captain?
the head groundskeeper at Starfleet Academy. When I was a cadet, he used to give me fresh roses for my quarters.
It's safe to assume this individual is not Boothby.
Whoever they are, they've gathered incredible accurate information about Starfleet headquarters.
Perhaps they had access to a Federation database.
Or they've been to San Francisco.
The habitat's population consists of humans, Vulcans, Bolian, Ferengi, all Alpha Quadrant species.
What do we know about this artificial environment? 7?
I've used the tricorder data, hollow images, and astrometric scans to extrapolate a cross-section of the interior. I believe they used a combination of holographic projection and particle synthesis.
Power source?
There are 3 thermionic generators beneath the city. I can't identify the energy signatures.
The habitat's heavily fortified. They are well prepared to defend against an attack.
Sick beta captain.
Go ahead.
I've completed my postmortem analysis. You better get down here.
On my way. If this is training ground, it could mean they're planning an invasion of the Federation. We should prepare for the worst. See if you can find a way to penetrate their defenses.
You focus on sickbay. The doctor and Janeway are looking at the doctor's scan of Gentry on the monitor.
He may look human, he may sound human, he may even smell human, but there's no question, he's alien.
Was he genetically altered?
On a highly sophisticated level. If it weren't for microcellular scans, I wouldn't be able to distinguish him from the genuine article. I've managed to isolate the alien DNA. Fortunately, most of his cells are still chemically active. If I use cytokinetic injection, I should be able to trigger genetic reversion.
Do it.
Gentry's form begins to change and grow. The once peachy skin tone turns gray and the skeletal structures of his face changes.
Oh!
What was once an average-sized human male becomes the massive form of species 8472, now flopping over the tiny biobed. Janeway and the doctor recoil in horror.
Talk about a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Species 8472. Sorry, spoke over you.
We focus on the briefing room. Janeway is addressing the senior officers.
Species 8472. The question is, why are they training to pose as human beings?
Back in the 20th century, the Soviets used to build American towns to train their agents to infiltrate the United States. Species 8472 could be doing the same thing.
They're going to infiltrate the Alpha Quadrant.
Maybe they already have.
That Kaplaton is right. How else could they have gathered their information about us? Perhaps they've acquired it from the Borg.
It doesn't matter how they got their data. We need to find out what they intend to do with it.
If our previous experience is any indication, they will try to destroy Earth.
A logical assumption. They did threaten to purge our galaxy of all life.
Tuvok, keep working on a way to target their habitat's power source. We're going to need a nanoprobe warheads and plenty of them. 7, see to it.
Yes, Captain.
In the meantime, I've got a date to keep. I made contact with one of them, Commander Valerie Archer. Maybe I can capitalize on the relationship, get a better idea of what they be planning.
Tom, Harry, take them back to Delta Flyer. Keep a constant transport lock on him. If Species 8472 attacks Earth, the Federation won't have any defenses against them. And I don't need to remind you that we have no way to warn Starfleet Command, Voyager, to be the last defense against an all-out invasion of Earth.
We focus on the astrometrics lab. Chakotay is going through the reconstruction of the habitat. Janeway enters.
Last minute preparations?
Just planning me big night out.
I can recommend a nice Japanese replomat on Embarcado.
I was never very good with chopsticks.
Starfleet headquarters bring back memories, even if it was just a recreation. I remember my last visit there. I was given my general orders for Voyager's first mission, proceed to Badlands, and finally the Maquis.
The orders that brought us together.
What about you? When was the last time you were at headquarters?
Before today, March 3rd, 2368, the day I resigned me commission. I can still remember the look on the Admiral's face.
Which one?
Nimembe.
He taught at the academy, didn't he?
That be correct.
Interspecies ethics, wasn't it?
Tactical analysis.
Of course.
Kathryn, ye think I might be one of them. Ye be testing me.
You and Tuvok were in an alien habitat for nearly 3 hours. Anything could have happened down there.
True. Why don't ye have Tuvok meet us in sickbay? The doctor can perform a microcellular analysis.
Tuvok's already there.
Ye could have just asked me to report to sickbay.
Given Ensign Gentry's reaction, I thought I'd be a little more tactful.
We focus on the corridor. Janeway and 2 security officers are escorting Chakotay to sickbay. Not taking any chances, are ye?
Don't feel singled out. I've asked the doctor to examine the entire crew. There's no telling how 8472 got their information about Starfleet. From the Borg? Earth? For all we know, there's been an imposter on board.
We focus on the doctor's office. Sickbay is crowded with crew members. The doctor is scanning Chakotay with a medical tricorder.
Cell morphology normal. All of your nucleotide sequences are accounted for. You're 100% human.
That be a relief. And Tuvok?
Green-blooded Vulcan through and through. Well, 2 down, 125 to go.
You better get going.
I don't want to be late.
Just be home before midnight.
Aye, ye saucy wench. We focus on the Delta Flyer.
I've enhanced this tricorder with a transoptic data link. It should help you access some of their systems. Type 1 phaser modified to fire Borg nanoprobes.
Aye.
Do you always arm yourself before a first date?
You've never had a date with species 8472.
Personally, I don't go out with girls from other galaxies.
You're a true explorer, Chakotay.
Is she cute?
In her wench form, anyway.
I've always wondered what it would be like to date an alien.
I'll take notes.
We're making our approach.
I'll stop. Shields up. We focus on a medical lab. Seven and the doctor are examining nanoprobes on a monitor.
Feisty little fellows. You've increased their cellular motility by over 200%.
We can't hear you, Jeff. We can't hear you.
I thought it would be prudent to maximize their efficiency.
7. The last time we used nanoprobes, you sent 8472 scurrying back to fluidic space. You can't get more efficient than that.
The species is highly adaptive. It's been over a year since our first encounter. They may have developed a defense against our technology.
There's one way to find out. We can test the nanoprobes on our corpse. You'll find the body in the morgue chamber 3. Beam it to surgical bay. The creature's only been dead a few hours. There should be still plenty of cellular activity.
The corpse is beamed in. The doctor hits it with a hypo spray.
Initiate a bioscan, full spectrum.
The creature twitches.
Don't worry, it's an autonomic reflex. The creature still has residual bioelectricity activity in its nervous system.
Something's wrong. The nanoprobe should have been taken effect by now. What is it?
The creature's nucleotides are still intact. It looks like your concerns were warranted. We'll have to inform the captain. We may have to...
Oh! The creature's skin begins to ripple and then stops.
Doctor!
False alarm!
I will replicate more nanoprobes.
7 and the doctor head off to his office where she begins to work on more nanoprobes.
I don't mind telling you, 7. I'm still holding out for a diplomatic solution.
Improbable. Species 8472 will not respond to diplomacy.
Funny, we used to say the same thing about the Borg. My point is, anything's possible if you keep an open mind. Optimism, 7. Try to look on the bright side.
It is difficult to be optimistic when we are preparing for battle.
Have you ever heard the phrase, the best defense is a good offense?
No!
Throughout human history, weapons of mass destruction were often designed in the hopes that they'd never be used.
And yet, in Earth's Third World War, nuclear weapons accounted for over 600 million casualties. Were they looking on the bright side?
An unfortunate exception.
We focus on the Quantum Cafe. Chakotay enters, looks around, and heads over to Archer and Boothby, who are sitting at a table.
We were just talking about you.
Oh?
She didn't think you were going to show up.
Boothby.
I've known Archer since she was a first-year cadet. She's not easily impressed. I didn't think you were her type. Or, if you'll excuse me, I've got some midnight orchids that need my attention. Think about what I said, young lady. You'll be fine.
Thank you, Boothby.
Boothby leaves and Chakotay takes his chair. Problems?
I was offered a field commission this morning. First officer of the starship Horcha.
Congratulations.
It's a Klingon vessel.
Oh. So what did Boothby say?
Ducha mi gagro. Smile when you eat the gag.
Ha ha! Those be wise words.
Yeah.
Do ye always seek advice from a landlubber?
Half the captains in Starfleet wouldn't be where they are today if it weren't for Boothby, Lopez, Picard, Richardson, just to name a few. Closing time.
Ye offered to be my guide. Where's our next stop?
Can you dance?
I've been accused of trying.
It's Pon Far night at the Vulcan nightclub.
Vulcan?
It's just around the corner.
We focus on the Delta Flyer. Harry is pacing. Paris is amused.
Take it easy, Harry. We didn't build a Delta Flyer to withstand such extensive pacing.
He should have contacted us by now.
Give him time.
4 hours?
It's a date. These things can't be rushed. They probably just finished dinner, a couple of drinks, and now they're moving past the polite stage.
Polite stage. The last 8472 I met tried to dissolve me from the inside out.
It was only trying to get to know you better, Harry. You can't fault a person for that. Look, Chakotay can take care of himself, and if he can't, who better than us to come to the rescue?
We focus on Archer's quarters. Turns out the transporter malfunctioned. Me uniform ended up in the pattern buffer.
You're kidding. You were naked.
Not entirely. I had me comm badge.
I hope it was well placed. Computer. Lights.
So this is where they be putting up officers nowadays. Not bad.
Can I get you something to drink?
Water's fine.
I'm beginning to think you're a teetotaler.
I be liking to stay in control.
Always that yellow alert, huh?
Something like that.
Find anything interesting?
Beyond the galactic edge, humanity's quest for infinity. This be a 21st century edition of Hesterman, eh?
Replicated. Good book, though.
Never read it.
You should. Human beings, they're quite a paradox.
How so?
At first glance, they're so primitive. Genetic impurities, no telepathy, violence, and yet they've created so many beautiful ways to communicate their ideas. Literature, art, music. At times, I've actually enjoyed being in this form. I correct myself from time to time. You mistake of
Not at all!
You must think I'm crazy. I wonder what they think about us.
Hard to say.
I'll tell you what I think. They despise us. They'll attack any species that's not part of their federation. Speaking of being in human form, I could use an isomorphic injection. You need one?
I'm fine.
Make yourself at home.
She goes into the next room, and Chakotay taps a small computer on a shelf and starts downloading the data to his tricorder. Archer returns in a bathrobe and injects her thigh. The skin flutters. He turns the computer off and goes to the picture window.
Commander, how do you like the view?
Lovely.
Looks like a full moon. You can see the entire bay on a night like this.
I should have brought me hollow imager. Ye make a pretty picture. They go outside.
Feel that? Salinated oxygen molecules, stimulating the epidermal and neural receptors. Non-fluidic space has its charms.
No arguments there.
Planet Earth. The simulation will be real soon enough.
How soon do you think?
Weeks, days, as soon as they think we're ready.
Can I be honest with ye?
Please.
I'm starting to wonder if all this be worth the effort.
What do you mean?
This simulation, our mission. Are we certain the humans pose a threat?
They were allies with the Borg. They invaded our realm.
That be one incident. That doesn't mean the entire Federation is planning a war with us.
We can't trust them. We have to prepare for the worst.
I'm not so sure.
I think you've been human a little too long.
Before ye know it, I'll be sending my resume to the real Starfleet.
Alien from distant galaxies seeks employment. References available upon request.
Avast! Fast, it be getting late. I'd better go.
Already?
I have a tactical report to finish before morning.
Aren't we forgetting something? I'm no expert at human dating rituals, but I think it's customary to kiss goodnight. You've never done this before.
Actually,
Me neither. Just think of it as part of our training.
she backs him up against the door jamb and kisses him.
Oh, yeah.
Chakotay reciprocates enthusiastically and leaves. Archer goes to her desk and takes out a scanner. She uses it on her hand where it had touched Chakotay's skin and activates her desk computer.
Report.
I analyzed his DNA. Your suspicions were correct.
How much does he know?
It's difficult to say. He'll have to be interrogated.
Where is he?
By now, he should be in the main quad. I recommend we go to daylight. He'll be easier to track.
We focus on Starfleet headquarters, gardens. Chakotay is walking quickly, looking around. Night suddenly becomes day. 4 people are following him. He begins to walk faster and hits his comm badge. Chakotay to Paris. Delta Flyer, respond. Chakotay pulls out his phaser and shoots a man who is running towards him, then runs himself. He tries his best to get away, but is quickly surrounded by species 8472 in humanoid form. We focus on the ready room.
Yes, come in.
The Borg modifications are complete. 19 standard photon torpedoes and 3 Class 10s armed with high-yield warheads.
More.
We have depleted our supply of nanoprobes.
Replicate a new supply.
That is not possible.
Have the doctor extract them from your bloodstream, grow them in a petri dish, whatever it takes. If we do not engage 8472, I don't intend to run out of firepower mid-battle. You of all people should understand that. They killed what, 4 million drones? Directive 010? Before engaging alien species in battle, any and all attempts to make first contact and achieve non-military resolution must be made. In this case, we made first contact over a year ago and we barely got out alive. It seems to me a battle is inevitable, maybe even war. So why can't I get that directive out of my mind?
This species tends to purge our galaxy of our life. It's time you resisted your Starfleet philosophy.
Captain to bridge.
We focus on the bridge. 7 and Janeway enter from her ready room.
The way team is hailing us.
Tom?
Chakotay's in trouble. He tried to contact us 10 minutes ago, but his signal was cut off.
Some kind of force field went up around the habitat. We can't get a lock on him.
Has your vessel been detected?
I don't think so. At least no one's tried to take a shot at us yet.
Hold your position. Keep trying to locate him. We're on our way.
Yes, ma'am.
Bring those Borg weapons online. Red alert. All hands to battle stations. Take us out of orbit.
We focus on the Quantum Cafe. Archer and Boothby are both there. Boothby behind the bar, Archer sitting in front of it. Chakotay is brought over to them.
I thought you had a tactical report to finish.
What'll you have, son? I'm a single malt man myself, aged 200 years. Been saving it for a special occasion, and I'd say this is special enough. A toast to Earth, Chakotay, rank command. Wait,
Yep.
that's all right. Chakotay, rank commander, Starfleet service number 47 Alpha 612, first officer, USS Voyager.
Species 8472. Origin fluidic space.
Well, now that we've been formally introduced, how many ships? Have you got your tongue? I asked you a question. How many vessels do you have in the Delta Quadrant?
1.
How did you find us?
We detected what looked like a Federation subspace transmission. It be taking us weeks to track it here.
We wanted this simulation to be accurate to the last detail. We obviously went a little too far. Now that you know about our recreation, you've no doubt alerted the Federation. Your fleet will be on its way.
Ye've got it wrong. We're not planning a war against ye.
Is that why you were here to spy on us? Because you're curious.
Sir, a starship is approaching. It's Voyager.
Raise our shields. Stand by all weapons.
Captain Janeway is not here to launch an attack. She be here to find me.
We've got the real McCoy here. We might as well take advantage of it. Perform a genetic extraction. It may help us find a better way to maintain these human forms.
Yes, sir.
We focus on the bridge.
We are approaching the habitat.
Shields to maximum. Charge weapons. All hands. This is the bridge. Tactical alert. Report to your post. And stand by to engage enemy.
I have a visual. We are being scanned.
Let them take a look.
The Delta Flyer is heading up from the habitat.
Open a channel. Tom, status?
They've taken a couple of pot shots at us. Captain, we've lost our shields. Mind if we join you?
You're clear to dock. Main shuttle bay. Any word from Chakotay?
I'm afraid not.
Bring us within range. Target their weapons array.
Captain, we should target the power systems as well.
No, I don't want to risk shutting down their life support. If we can end this without casualties, so much the better.
This species does not deserve our compassion.
You picked a lousy time for an ethics debate. The weapons array, now.
We're entering a weapons range. 3,800 kilometers. 3,500. 3,200.
We focus on the Quantum Cafe. Chakotay sits calmly in a chair while Archer prepares some sort of injection. Valerie!
That's not my name.
Then what is it? You're afraid of us, aren't ye? Ye think we're violent, that we're planning to destroy your species. But none of it be true. If ye would take the time to speak to us directly, we could prove it to you. There are no secrets except the secrets that keep themselves.
Shaw.
George Bernard Shaw. I saw a copy of his collected works on your bookshelf.
He had a complex mind for a human.
And he had a point. As long as we keep spying on each other, making assumptions, we probably will go to war. A klaxon sounds.
Voyager.
We focus on the bridge. Paris and Kim enter from the turbo lift.
The charging weapons.
Do the same.
We're being hailed.
Mr. Boothby,
Captain Janeway.
good to see you after all these years. Enjoying the Delta Quadrant?
Don't get sassy with me, young lady. This recreation may be Starfleet, but our weapons are far more sophisticated. I can destroy your vessel with a single command. Run along now.
I'm not going anywhere. Not until you return my first officer and give a damn good explanation for what you're doing in our galaxy. I've targeted your recreation with Borg nanoprobes, and we're willing to use them if you force us to.
Don't try and rattle my cage. I'll disable your tactical systems before you can...
The last time our species engaged in a battle, you suffered heavy casualties. Are you willing to take that chance again? An armed conflict isn't going to solve our problems. We can go on making threats, spying on each other, risking a war between our species, or we can be more direct, take a more direct approach.
What do you have in mind?
How about a class reunion?
We focus on the briefing room. Tuvok, Seven, Janeway, and Chakotay are there representing Starfleet. The 8472 doubles of Boothby, Archer, and Admiral Bullock are there representing their own species.
Targ manure. United Federation of Planets. Tolerance for all species. The prime directive. Targ manure. Every word of it.
Your metaphor is colorful, but inaccurate.
Vulcan logic. Add that to the list.
Obviously, you studied a Starfleet database. You must have learned something about our history. We adhere to our directives.
High-minded ideals are one thing, but your actions tell a very different story. You infiltrated our recreation, captured and killed one of our people.
I told you, he took his own life.
You created biological weapons to infect our species. You are allies with the Borg.
No.
There's a drone sitting at this very table. Look at her, all gussied up to look like a human being.
I'm no longer part of the collective.
Once a Borg, always a Borg.
7 and 9 is a member of this crew.
The Borg are irrelevant. Right? It's the humans that pose a threat.
They be thinking the Federation is a hostile invasion force out to destroy their species.
I see. So you're planning a preemptive strike against Earth.
Maybe I am.
You realize I can't let that happen.
Go ahead. Fire your damned nanoprobes. Blow our recreation to high heavens. There's a dozen more scattered throughout the quadrant. You'll never find them all.
What if I told you Starfleet isn't planning an invasion? That no one on Earth has ever heard of you?
I'd say you're lying.
Have another look at the Federation database of yours. Of ours and yours, then ours again, and then look at yours. You'll see there's no mention of your realm.
Immaterial. Any information regarding our species has no doubt been classified by Starfleet intelligence.
Good point. You know, we could keep this paranoid debate going all day. You have no reason to trust us, and we have no reason to trust you.
Hear, hear. I knew this reunion would be a fiasco, Admiral.
Boothby and the Admiral stand up, preparing to leave the negotiations.
7. Disarm the warheads.
Captain?
Do it.
7 goes to the wall monitor and complies.
What are you trying to prove, young lady?
One of us has to take the finger off the trigger. It might as well be me.
Archer heads over and looks at the panel 7 was just using.
Their weapons are offline.
It's a trick.
Our defenses are down. What will you do now? Blow Voyager to high heavens, or do we keep talking?
Humans. You've got a flair for the dramatic, I'll give you that. You want to keep talking? Fine by me. But no more beating around the bush. Now, what do you want from us? The truth, Captain.
Voyager is alone in the Delta Quadrant. We've been in contact with Earth for over 4 years.
Explain why you attacked our realm, hand in hand with the Borg.
At the time, we didn't realize the Borg had started the war against you. We forged a temporary alliance with them because we thought you were the threat.
Your galaxy will be purged. Sound familiar?
We were only trying to defend ourselves.
If that's true, why are you still in our galaxy? Your conflict with the Borg ended over a year ago.
Why recreate Starfleet? Masquerade as humans. It looks to me if you're the ones planning an invasion. The truth.
Don't answer her. She's manipulating us.
If you won't answer, I will.
Commander!
Our mission is to infiltrate your home world, to place operatives in the highest levels of Starfleet, monitor your military installations. It's a reconnaissance mission, nothing more.
We should listen to her, Captain. They be being driven by fear just like we are. Unless everything you said on our date was just part of an act.
It wasn't.
Enough! We must not negotiate with these creatures.
Sit down, Admiral.
Sir!
I said sit down, or I'll knock you right on your human butt.
You've been seduced by them. Both of you.
I've had a chance to see through human eyes, and I'm beginning to wonder, are they really so violent? What if we're wrong?
We can't risk trusting them.
You'd rather risk another war?
Keep talking, son.
Archer's right. We've got to set aside our preconceptions about each other. Granted, our species didn't meet under the best of circumstances, but maybe we can make first contact again. Maybe this time we be getting it right.
You believe in this fellow?
Yes.
There would have to be a few ground rules.
Name them.
First off, I want to take a look at that nanoprobe technology. It scares the hell out of me.
All right, but I'll need some tactical information in return. Your genetic alteration techniques for a start.
I'm sure something can be arranged. You on board, Admiral? Good enough for me.
Everyone at the table exchanges glances. Chakotay and Archer exchange small smiles. We focus on Voyager flying through space.
Captain's log, stardate 52136.4. We managed to avoid a military conflict with species 8472, at least for now. In an effort to strengthen the truce, we're engaging in technology.
We focus on a corridor. Janeway and Seven are walking together. Seven hands Janeway a pad.
The design schematic for our nanoprobe weapons, as requested.
This could go a long way to allaying their fears.
Perhaps.
Have a little faith, Seven.
It's difficult to have faith in an idea which may prove tactically unsound.
Tactically unsound, perhaps. It could also be the first step towards peace. It's a risk I'm willing to take. Are you sure you won't join us? It would be your first chance to see Earth.
I prefer to remain aboard Voyager. If problems arise while you're in the habitat,
There won't be any problems. Nothing tactical at any rate. We're in a stage of diplomacy where most of the problems will be cultural. How do you shake hands with 8472? We'll be fine.
when you ordered me disarm the warhead during the negotiation, I anticipated an immediate attack. I believed they would take advantage of your human weakness. I was wrong. If I had been in your position, we would most likely have been engaged in a battle with 8472 from the moment. How did you know?
I didn't. Like I said,
Faith.
We focus on Starfleet headquarters, Gardens. Bullock is addressing Tuvok and Neelix in much the same way as he was addressing the officers earlier.
Welcome to Terrasphere 8, Starfleet Command Recreation. I'm Admiral Bullock, and I'll be acquainting you with our facility. Questions, comments, bring them to me. Problems, talk to Lieutenant Kidis. Commander Tuvok, you wanted to examine our thermionic generators.
Yes.
I'll take you there personally. Ambassador Neelix.
It's Neelix, sir.
Neelix, you'll be joining the lieutenant. He'll familiarize you with our environmental control technology.
Wonderful. I look forward to hearing your perspective on Vulcans.
Elsewhere in the Gardens, Janeway is walking with Boothby.
you didn't happen to recreate a little coffee shop on Market Street, the Night Owl?
Afraid not. You're welcome to stay. Put your feet up. We won't be returning to fluidic space for another day or two.
Thank you, but the real Earth is a long way from here. I'd like to get back on the road. What are the chances they'll listen to you?
I can't promise you the moon, Captain. My superiors aren't as forward-thinking. Peace with humans? Wow, they're going to hit the roof. But I'll tell them what happened here today, and with a pinch of luck, a few of them might see the light.
Well, you've got our comm frequency. You know how to contact us. I hope we can keep this process alive.
Don't call us, we'll call you. Oh, I almost forgot.
He takes a rose from his bag.
Genetically synthesized, but they smell just as lovely.
Oh.
Janeway takes a big sniff with a large smile on her face. In yet another part of the garden, Chakotay and Archer are chatting. Looking forward to going home?
At least I can finally get out of this form.
No more insomnia.
No more sleeping. Period.
For what it's worth, ye made a jolly wench.
Shame.
Aye?
It's too bad our species are so different. Otherwise, I'd ask you for a second date.
Ye did offer to be me guide. How about a tour of your realm sometime?
I'd like that.
Aye, I'm due back on Voyager. We be leaving at 0400.
I'll never get a chance to do this again.
She leans in and kisses him, long and slow.
Any better this time?
You're a quick study. The end.
Akuchi Moya.
That's right. Okay. Oh my god, I'm dying. All right, here.
My favorite, I think, was the chair. The chair, the crash, and the chair, the car crash.
Hold on. Okay, we're coming back. Oh wow.
Car crash.
Ella Moraine, indeed. Oh wow. That was something. Okay, we need to come in here. That was maybe my favorite thing ever. Okay, so that was a lot of
What's went
fun.
wrong? Oh man,
That was the best.
cursed.
Yeah, that was quite the show. Okay, so that was so much fun. Okay, hey everybody, I'm Dave, and I was playing Bullock and Gentry in the episode. This is my wife Jane, and she was playing Tuvok and Tom Paris
Yes.
in the episode. So I'm just gonna bring just in the order here we have here. We're also bring in Ashley and Kevin here, who were playing. Kevin was playing Boothby, and Ashley was playing Chakotay and the narrator. We also have here Michael and Jessica. Michael was playing the role of Valerie Archer, one of the 8472s, and Jessica was playing the Doctor, Harry Kim, and you had one more, Neelix. You were also Neelix in the episode. And then we also have here Mott Tyrell, who was playing the role of Captain Kathryn Janeway throughout. Great job. And Jeff, my brother, which I am trying. And one second, guys. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, and we got a comment here from Jamil who says, "Great job, everyone." Thank you, Jamil.
Hey, Camille.
Jamil. Sorry, and we also have my brother Jeff, who was playing the role of 7 of 9. Jeff, you had another character too, right? Oh, you were Balana Torres, right?
Yeah, Balana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jeff's.
He's also frozen.
That's now just a picture of Jeff.
He's just regenerating.
Hey, we got through the whole broadcast without.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got through the whole thing. Now, granted, we will need an edit of that, but we have.
Oh no, edits.
No edits. It stands. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like
laughing in.
Yeah, I don't know where to start. Okay, I think the Pirate Chakotay was sort of the anchor of the episode, pun intended. Was great, a great like just bouncing off every character.
Dave was losing it here when you first started acting.
I lost it.
It was great.
Where else do I want to go? Like there was a lot. There was a lot to like in this. Everybody was
Doctor.
amazing.
Archer.
Yeah.
Archer. Yeah.
Was Archer the like filing clerk from Monsters Inc?
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Mike,
I knew that voice.
Yes, that's who I thought I was talking to the entire time. Like that's the picture I had in my head.
I knew that voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and your Jessica's Harry Kim, which was like
that was great.
Yeah.
Like a toddler. Yeah.
Last minute decision.
Yeah, it was funny. He was like pouty toddler.
That's
It's perfect for Harry.
Kim.
Yeah. And Jane's like Tom Paris was just like you remember that?
I was just trying to be enthusiastic.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was like
it
I was
was
losing
very
it through that whole
enthusiastic.
scene because it was like you were like the older brother, right? Like say like calm down, Harry, and like it's just like the 8472 was just getting to know you. It actually did try to kill him. But it was
Trying to turn me inside out.
so those voices with that dialogue and just everything was funny to me. So
Yeah.
there was a lot. The Jeff's 7 of 9. The Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You got me.
Sometimes.
Real good
Doctor, I was like,
ad libs with I liked some.
Everyone had great ad-libs.
Yeah.
The Boothby was great. I loved.
I did Balana Torres as sort of like Gowron. This talk, Tom Paris. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but we will never forget.
I think this script really suited this kind of format for us because it was just a lot of people talking in this episode to each other.
Yeah.
Not a ton of action was involved.
Yeah.
And which kind of suits us better. And it was just whatever. Just bring us back. Did you guys like my Bullock? Did you like
Yes.
the,
Yes.
the Admiral? I wasn't necessarily.
He was
it
good.
was a bit rough at the beginning, but it came together.
Good.
I liked
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have to
Definitely
go
have
and
more lines.
check out who is actually speaking. Yeah, sometimes I'll think Dave. I'll think you're Jeff. Michael, I'll think you're Jeff.
Oh, you don't know who's who?
No,
Actually, Neelix.
I'll go
Neelix
back
had
to
her.
work.
I was like, who? What? Because I didn't know if you left him, and I thought Michael was like. I'm like, oh no. Anyway, yeah. So I couldn't tell who Neelix was. So that was very good.
I liked your Gentry. It was like spot on Doofenshmirtz. That's
Yeah,
what I
that was
got
great,
out of it. It was so
Doofenshmirtz.
good.
Jamil saying it's way too much fun listening to us all. Thank you, Jamil.
Thank you, Jamil.
Thank you.
The support is appreciated. Even and like sometimes I edit the audio version afterwards. I don't know if we really want it. So
I
we'll
like
see.
the goofs, but
The goofs were fun.
Yeah.
This was I've never laughed so much during the recording of an episode ever. So this was.
I'm sorry I broke you guys at that one point.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Correct yourself.
Yeah, just like the conference room scene was so much fun with all these 6 characters like bouncing off of.
Yeah, they were just the random voices.
Yeah, it's like I was like, who's on? Like, yeah, I was like, I'm on this. Who's on my side? Like, who's on my team? It's kind of hard to keep track of who was human and who wasn't. Who was played a fake human?
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Mott, you were great. You were awesome. You were the captain of the episode. Yeah, it's all right. That was the first time you had the log there. That was good.
I highlighted the log in like the last time.
That was my fault. I usually change that in the script to the name of the character saying it, and I missed it.
Well, I had 2 things. I didn't, I guess, ask for permission to go edit yours, so I went online and just got the dialogue, and I went and highlighted everything, but I missed that. And I even, I watched the episode right before, but for some reason I wasn't ready for it right then, and I'm just sitting there adjusting, seeing when I'm talking. I'm like, oh, I'm not talking for like 3 pages or something like that. Everybody's quiet. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not even looking.
I've never had so many problems with the word Joel.
I would have got it, but I had no idea.
Oh yeah, Kevin's Yule.
Yeah, I couldn't get it out. I don't know what was happening.
That's like every time I have to say astrometrics. I can never get it out when I'm. Yeah, every time.
At least that's more than 5 letters.
It's so hard to say.
I jinxed myself so bad. The first like big speech that the doctor goes, I was like, oh man, I did that like full speed. I didn't screw it up. And then the next scene, I was like, blah, blah.
Oh, it was great. Your DMH was excellent. I think you've done it before, that one, right? That character.
Yeah, a little section in the hollow. Episode.
Yeah, this was like an expanded version. Yeah, this is great. This particular Voyager episode, I think, actually I look at it in a better light, I think, than I used to, and I like it a lot more because it just had a lot of fun with this tonight, and how everyone was. This it will always be this for me now, but.
I just really want to do an entire like episode where there's lots of Borg and everyone is doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All Borgs are Arnold Schwarzeneggers.
Yes, that's what I demand.
I thought they're one mind. Yeah.
Everybody must talk the same.
Yeah. I'm you.
And I know I'm you.
I'm
Every
you.
dog is from Austria and pumped iron. Was the governor.
All right, I think we're going to wrap up the broadcast here, everybody. I expect we're going to be back next week for a new episode, so we're going to figure that out after we go off the air here. But we really appreciate all who watch and listen and subscribe. Make sure to watch all of our stuff here on Live Long and Podcast as we do Deep Space Nine rewatches on Tuesday nights, original series on Wednesday nights. On Thursdays, right now, we're doing a rewatch of Star Trek Discovery as we've just entered the 3rd season. Michael, Jane, Adam Woodward, and others are coming in and out on that one. We also, we just finished up Star Trek Lower Decks, the whole 1st season. Jeff, Jamil, and I had covered all that. There's so much more going on in Star Trek world, and we also do this radio theater, which is our thing we do on the weekends, often on Saturdays and Fridays and things like that. So check out all that and our other channels, which are Trivial Debates, where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more on the last Sunday of every month, which I have to get that scheduled. And then we also have Super Mater Brothers podcasting, where we talk about Big Brother 3 times a week, where we do all that, right, Jane? We do
right.
all of that. It's all great. Podcast, and entertainment. It's so much fun. All right, thank you to everybody. I loved it. It was great. Sorry,
It's fun.
Jeff, you want to say have your salutes, your good nights.
No.
Okay. You're off screen.
Technical
All right. Yeah.
He's again just a picture.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks so much.